just heard from him there. He was frustrated. I could tell you looked pretty frustrated on the pit wall as well. What have you said to him?
Well, we haven't actually spoken yet, so he's been obviously busy talking to you guys and vice versa. So
what will you say to him?
You know, he's got the pace today. He got a car that was easily capable of being on the first or second row. He was matching Max's times. Stay in the white lines. You know, it was strike one, strike two. Checo, just stay in the white lines. Strike three, and that was it. So I mean, just hugely frustrating because he could have been there. He could have done it. So that's the frustration. It's fantastic to have got the bowl, but it feels not complete.
The same could be said for Max, because in the first two sessions, he also threw away some banker opportunities as well. So it must have been quite tense on the pit wall there for you.
Yeah, but at least he responded. We say stay in the white lines, and he did that. So he built a conservatism into his laps to make sure that he had a wheel inside the line. And I think there was a little bit more time in the car in that last sector if he hadn't have gone for it. So it was driving with a bit of restraint.
Have you had two Red Bulls on the front row here? I can't remember.
I can't remember. I'm on the front row here, probably not.
I just want to come back to Checo for a second, because this was obviously a race for him where, firstly, home crowd, home race.
Yeah.
But incredibly important for him to nail that qualifying session, because it's gone wrong for him the last 3 attempts.
Yeah.
I understand that he's got the message saying, white lines, but on the radio he came on and said, can we go again? So was it clearly delivered to him enough that was his very last opportunity to get it right?
Crystal clear.
So it's just driver error.
So I think, look, I mean, it's hugely frustrating, because the frustrating thing, we know he can do it. He did a 4.9 on that lap. He was 300ths off Max. He could have been 4/10 slower and still been in. And so I think at Q2, that's not the time to be doing it. So that was the frustrating thing, because he could have done it today.
Yeah, I mean, here's another look at it. As you said,
far ahead, there's...
Do you think it's a fair point? Because he did say that he had lost a bit of downforce.
It's not going to have helped. But then you build in a little bit more margin. So, Checo, frustrated, will turn the page.
Yeah.
He'll race hard tomorrow, but it's just annoying because we know he could have been there.
Christian, look, what we're hearing today, Dr. Marco's lost patience, it seems, with Nick de Vries, and we understand the quote is there that he's got 4 races to salvage his career, otherwise it's sayonara. Where do you stand on how Sergio is driving now? Since Azerbaijan, he was brilliant in Baku.
Yeah.
But since then, he seems to have drifted off somewhat. What can you tell him to pick him up? And what sort of pressures is he under right now as your second driver?
Well, of course, he's putting himself under the most pressure he's under is the pressure he puts him under himself. I mean, today he had the pace. Practice one, he was right there. The lap times he was doing, he was 10th for 10th with Max today. So that's the annoying thing. That's the frustration. He can do it. And I think it's just a great shame, because I think this would have really kick-started things for him. And of course, the frustration for us as a team is now we have 2 Ferraris are a little closer versus 1 Red Bull, with Checo out of position.
I hate to put you on the spot, but you've got 2 potential open seats in the Red Bull family, with de Vries' seat and who knows, even maybe Checo's seat.
No, Checo's fixed. Look, Checo, everybody's fully behind, so any talk about replacing Checo's wide of the mark.
Fine. So on a day like this with de Vries, let's say, we've been sort of contemplating who might get that seat if it's not de Vries. You've obviously got Daniel in the family who's kind of ready to take a seat potentially at some point, but then you've got other juniors as well. So can you give us any nod?
Yeah, but there's no plan to replace Nick de Vries at the moment. So, you got to give these guys a bit of time. And I think that, of course, we've got a junior program. We've got, Daniel in the stable as well. He's going to be driving the car, testing the Red Bull car after the Silverstone race. So it'll be great to see, where he's at, where his confidence is at. And what he does.
Can I just say congratulations as well, by the way? You have taken pole position
I know,
for
exactly.
So
exactly.
I know, sorry to battle that, but 69 points, obviously, he's got a fantastic lead at the moment. Again, I mean, it looked like he had stuff in the locker. He's just driving impeccably, just very quick on that.
He's doing an incredible job, and I think, again, to have that discipline, as Damon said, he got caught out a couple of times with the limits. rode it back in. And the most frustrating thing for a driver is to drive within the car, especially within qualifying. So, you know, great discipline, great mental discipline again from him today.
Okay, we'll leave you to go off and have a quick word with that. I should imagine be two different conversations you have. Well done. Thanks
Thanks a
Christian.
lot.
Appreciate you.